Wait.
Okay.
Oh, all right. So, Miss Party.
Yes.
How are you?
Hi, KG.
Yes,
I'm all good.
Yes. I love the energy.
I'm all good. Yeah, how are you doing?
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking me. No one else asked me
No one
this.
else asked you?
Oh my days.
Oh
my days. And it's not on camera.
It's not like we're held like that. Do anything.
Bro! So please introduce yourself. Who are you? What's your name? And what is your role in the film?
Okay, my name is Cebisa. I am a 21-year-old live performance student, particularly a screen acting student. Currently doing her honors, and this year I'm playing the role of Cebisa. This is the supporting lead role in our film is Thuthi.
That was very professional. God damn. Good. Okay, so what experience from your personal life draws you closer to your character and the film in general?
Wow. This one is pretty deep, pretty deeply rooted, especially for me and how I grew up, you know. Cebisa was raised by her dad, which is something that I had experienced until a certain age. And then I kind of had to find myself without a father figure, you know. So some of the scenes were really personal to me, and just a relationship that anyone could have with that kind of father figure in their life. So I think the connection between how she was raised and what I have always yearned for is really what drove me.
Breathing, talking,
As I can with everything that she has.
Okay, that's nice. Very concise. I'm curious though, what were you not aware of about the world at large until you worked on the film?
That's a good question. We, the actors, or let me just speak for myself, I was pretty involved in the pre-production phase of the whole project. Since conceptualizing days, you know, just throwing around different ideas, and the more and more we, you know, started narrowing down on this particular idea, I already had the framework of what this film could be and things like the themes that we could be dealing with. But I always thought in my head, okay, let's think here, Gqeberha, everyday life, you know. So it's good to see that it kind of manifested in that exact way. So yeah, I could say I had a pretty good understanding of the world of story and just relevance and being able to contextualize everything, being able to relate to everything as well as a black girl living in the Eastern Cape.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Do you think that, I mean, obviously this is an important story to tell.
Yes.
The writers talked about hearing impairment. I was saying hearing disability, and I'm like, God damn, it's hearing impairment. Okay, so I'm now more well informed now.
Yes.
But I am curious. I forgot my fucking question.
It's okay.
I'm gonna cut this out.
Okay.
But would you actually? Yes. Would you get along with your character in real life?
Would I get along?
Would you get along with your character in real life?
Thank you for your question. Would I get along with Cebisa? I think I would definitely be able to reason with her. However, she's very complex. You never know.
You're being politically correct. You're being politically correct.
Like you never know what you're gonna get out of her, because the way that she reacts is based off of what she sees every single day in her world, you know? And I could say that she is somebody that wasn't, and I say this for lack of better words, wasn't trained to address people in a certain way, you know? So she would address you the way that she wants to address you. However, me, someone who is not in the taxi industry, someone who has not seen violence, I have a more empathetic way of addressing people and addressing situations. So I think if we were to have a sit down, it would be very interesting.
I really do think so.
It would be very interesting.
But can you see yourself sitting having fun with your character?
Definitely. Definitely.
Really?
Yeah. I just want to stay on her good side.
Yeah, I was gonna say, she shook me.
Yes.
There was a difference between you in character and you out of character. When you're in character, I was low-key like, stay very far away from that. But then there was gun props as well. Oh my days.
She's very badass.
Yeah.
She's very badass. It was so great playing her.
What was your approach to working with the other actors as well? Because you have your own vision of the story and your own individual character. So does Kulu, so does Asha. They have their own world of story in their head, and they have their own characters that they relate to that world of story. What was challenging about bringing these performances together to make one world of story that we see in the film?
Okay, that's a bit of a
I got you.
That was very challenging, particularly because, as you mentioned, it's quite hard to merge perspectives, you know. But when you have bonded for quite some time, months before, you know, actually being on screen, I think it helps in a way to sort of understand. I understand the person that Asha is outside of Temba. I understand that Kulu is himself outside of Apil, and they understand that I am Gabi outside of Cebisa. So we had a little bit of a sit down, actually, just going through like what we think our character is in this world, their world of story. You know, little things like manner and saying, basically building, you know, putting building blocks, building these characters while also listening in and seeing how could these people actually relate. Do I have a cousin or sibling maybe that I could relate this relationship with Akiwe to? You know what I mean? So it was a lot of personal experience as well. It was a lot of having to envision somebody you know and how that relationship and dynamic might be. Yes.
Okay, no, I really like that. Okay, no. What was the most challenging scene for you to shoot? Most challenging, because I'm thinking there's an emotional side to being an actor, being in character, but there's also the technical stuff that needs to be handled where you have to do 6 takes of something. So I'm curious, with all that in mind, what was the most challenging thing for you to shoot, the most challenging scene?
Okay, I think the big one, like the big climax warehouse scene, for me that was particularly challenging because although there is somebody taking continuity, as an actor you need to be physically, mentally and emotionally present to be able to pick up on things like small things like continuity, like, okay, this is what I did when I reached here and I have to do that over and over and over and over again, you know, without losing the momentum. I think that was also a bit challenging, losing momentum because you're trying to keep up with what you did in the beginning. So technically that was quite challenging, having to keep in mind the frame size that is being used for this shot. Okay, now it's big movements, now I must focus in on my face, you know, keep still. So yeah, the big scene, also because it took a lot of time, I think that's why it was most technically challenging, but we did it, and everything looks great so far.
Okay, no, I do believe that. I've seen a few snippets of the film here and there.
Yes.
I'm very happy with how it looks visually. I'm very happy with performance. Very happy with what I've heard of sound so far. But I'm curious, do you have an acting philosophy?
An acting philosophy? I actually do. This is actually from Viola Davis. She said, performance has nothing to do with beauty. And I think if an actor can carry that in their mind, they can easily step into a character and forget everything about what might be flattering for them or what might work for them personally. Completely remove yourself. What you're doing has nothing to do with how beautiful you look or how beautiful this might look. You're doing it because you're doing it. Because as humans, we don't really think about under normal circumstances, we don't really think about a situation being aesthetic. aesthetically pleasing. You know what I mean? You're just doing it to do it. So I think remembering that performance has nothing to do with beauty is, that's my philosophy.
I really do dig that because it mirrors my philosophy as well about just acting and stuff. It's just that also I believe that the cameras, honestly, as an LP, I believe cameras should try to the actors should be actors. They should be the characters, and the camera should compensate for the actors rather than the actors for the camera. That's my personal philosophy. How do you feel about that then? Because there's some things that you feel your character needs to do that the camera person, DOP, directors, like the frame, all these different things. So I'm curious how you handle that.
Yeah, okay. For me, it's more, I understand completely what you're saying, but I feel like they work hand in hand. Maybe that is because, so I grew up with a theatre background, so stage my entire life until coming to AFDA, and that's where I was introduced to just all the technicalities, you know. So in my introduction, the camera was sort of like the black dot, the focus. And the way in which I learned to adapt to the camera is literally acting for the camera. So I formulated my understanding of the shooting process and how me, the subject, relates to the camera in that way. You know, I think it's like a handshake. We're meeting each other in the middle. You know, if I'm doing something and I've got my back turned, you can't really see what's going on. You know, it's going to be a bit of a mission for you to come around.
And do that.
So just compensating a little bit physically for the camera. I believe in a lot of that. I think I would do a lot of crazy things just to get a shot, which is kind of crazy, but...
Is there anything crazy you did do to get a shot?
Is there anything crazy I did do to get a shot?
In the film?
Not in this film particularly.
Okay.
Not in this film particularly. I think everything was kind of planned and set. Yeah, so there wasn't a lot of time for those risks.
Yeah.
Big risks. So I'm not saying we played it safe. I'm just saying there wasn't a bit of a physical constraint on myself.
So what are any last minute words at least you have for the audience, people who are going to see the film?
Okay, last words. Guys, just come and enjoy cinema. Come and enjoy the experience. We're telling a real story, a story that, you know, your aunt, your mother, you know, somebody you know can relate to. Something we see on a daily but choose to just ignore because it happens every day. But I think, especially because this film is a sensorial experience, you're going to be more aware of the fact that, hey, like, we live amongst deaf people and they experience life in a different way. So let's not shun the way that they experience life, but let's try and understand that the same way that they try to understand us. We're on the same
playing field.
Yes, same playing field. So yeah, just come in, experience cinema. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. No, I love that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, now that's it right there.
Woo! Thank you so much. That was so nice. That felt like a conversation.
That's what I want. Cut there.